She's finally arrived. Florence, the latest T-Doll joining Girls Frontline 2's roster, will be available in Thriller Wonderland, a brand new update launching on October 16th. And I wanted to take the time to break down all of the exciting new additions arriving in this update, with tons of free goodies, events, and new features. We're all familiar with Girls Frontline 2's baseline mechanics as a turn-based tactical strategy game with T-Doll training gameplay, and I'm not lying at all when I say the visual design of these dolls, from their intricately designed costumes all the way to the detailed rendering of their feet, is some of the craziest stuff in the industry. Not a surprise at all with its heavy use of a non-photorealistic rendering art style based on physically based rendering technology. Now, let's go ahead and get straight into the meat of this patch, starting off with the new T-Doll Florence. She's a little wild, with a free-spirited, straightforward personality that can't help but provoke others into joining her on wild escapades, and it's clear that she can't help herself from chasing every thrill possible. This is juxtaposed with her actual role on the battlefield, which is a support, appropriate given the fact that she's a doctor. When it comes to her role in combat, she provides incredible buffing abilities via her stimulant status effect, amplifies the hydro damage enemies receive, and even summons her own, bear to tank damage for her and counter enemy attacks. She'll also be running alongside her signature pistol, Yasuo, a powerful weapon that actively cleanses Florence of debuffs after using her skill and converts a debuff into a random buff. It's always great when a support can sustain themselves. The weapon also greatly increases the damage dealt by the wielder's summons and further amplifies hydro damage dealt to enemies if there's a hydro debuff on them. Counterattacks gain an even larger effect, which, if you understand how Florence works, it's a perfect match for her kit. Florence and her weapon aren't the only things arriving with this update. We've also got an abundance of fantastic new outfits and weapon skins. The first outfit is for none other than Florence herself, Marvelous Yam Pastry. This outfit greatly emphasizes the more playful parts of Florence's personality, and apparently it was designed for, bedtime games with the commander, whatever that means. While the second is for Tololo, a school uniform outfit titled Horizon Cruise. This skin is especially interesting because it was originally sourced from fan art on social media, so the GFL2 team contacted the creator, brought them on, and here we are. That's some solid community engagement. When it comes to weapons, on the other hand, Sandfolk's Hope is going to be the new addition, and it looks great. All of these skins will be available with an impressive discount over the duration of the update, from October 16th to November 5th, so make sure you get your wallet ready if any of these fantastic designs catch your interest. In regards to key events during the patch, there are two main highlights. Frontline Survivors is a top-down survival game mode where you'll gradually accumulate power-ups and weapons to battle waves of enemies across various stages, with plenty of built-in replayability and roguelike features to keep each run feeling fresh. On the other hand, the title event, Thriller Wonderland, will have you battling various stages and interacting with Florence in one of the wildest amusement parks in gacha history. We won't spoil too much over here, just keep in mind who you're going on this adventure with. That's a lot of content, and of course, nothing beats seeing all of it in action. Why don't we go ahead and see what it looks like in game? Let's see what this hype is all about firsthand. Big shout out to Girls Frontline 2 for sponsoring this video. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get ourselves started with a live demo of the new Girls Frontline 2 update. Do recall, this is going to be for Thriller Wonderland. And to show off all the great new features in the patch, we're going to be starting off with the biggest one. And that is, of course, going to be Florence. And so her banner is going to be live across the update. Big shout out to the Girls Frontline 2 devs for letting me access it early. And she's going to be available. So will her weapon, Yasuo, as well as a rerun for Chuha. So she's the character that you're looking for. Florence really isn't maybe your fancy. Well, you know who to go for. And the thing is, well, we're going to be looking to get Florence as well as her weapon, and thankfully, it does look like we're pretty close when it comes to this pity. So let's go ahead and see how our pulls are going to go. We only need about 57 accesses more to guarantee an elite item. So, let's give it a bit of a go. Let's check out this gacha animation one time, and maybe we'll get lucky. Maybe we'll get lucky. But if we don't, we'll probably skip the rest of them just for the sake of time. Alrighty, there we go. What about another go? Ooh, that one looked a little bit different. That one looked a little bit different. Let's... I knew it. I knew it. Let's see it. Let's see her. Come on, give me Florence. Well, there we go. There we go. She's here. She's here, ladies and gentlemen. We've got her. Florence is on the account. And I'm sure we can just go ahead, skip the rest of these. And let's go ahead now. We've got Florence. Now let's get a couple of pulls on the weapon. Let's see if we can get Yasuo, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, that seemed a little bit different too. I think that looked similar to when we got the 5-star the last time. Okay, never mind. I must just be tripping then. Let's go ahead. Let's get the rest of these polls underway. We might just skip forward a little bit if it takes us a little bit too long to get the copy. Not quite there, but sometimes you don't get lucky. But then sometimes you do. Looks like we got it, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like we got it. So, of course, now that we've gone ahead, we've gotten Florence on the account. We've got a copy of her weapon. Let's go ahead and start some of the leveling process. So we're going to have to go ahead, go find her at the bottom of the screen over here, and let's just get all of that training started. Get a nice little animation over here just to show how much work she's putting in. And it looks like she's gotten to level 20. So we'll just keep going. We'll just keep going to ensure that she is ready to perform in some of the content that we're going to be taking her in. We might just skip forward a little bit until she's maxed out. Alrighty, now that we've got Florence at level 60 and we've also got her weapon raised up quite adequately as well, let's go ahead and give her a bit of a gameplay demonstration so we can see exactly what she can do and some of the special abilities that she has prepared. So we're just going to go ahead, get into our campaign, go to a random supply mission, make sure the level's not too high because we don't want too much of a challenge. We're only going to be using a very small team to just see what Florence's potential is looking like. So let's go ahead, give that challenge a bit of a go, and see what her animations are looking like. So first things first, I don't want to slot in too much of a team right now because once again, Florence is meant to be the highlight. So I think we'll just go with a very constrained lineup of just her and Springfield. So let's give this a bit of a start. Let's first just move over here so that Florence is in the line of sight of a bunch of different enemies. And you'll understand why I'm doing this. Florence has a summon called Arios that will actually counter attack for her. This is really important because he deals a lot of damage. And when it comes to her ultimate move over here, this one is actually going to select a direction and then apply a debuff called Chaos Compound to all enemies that are hit by the attack. And that's going to increase the hydro damage they take even more. And it cannot be cleansed. So without further ado, let's just go ahead. Let's give this one a bit of a go. See what the animation looks like. Very, very, very stylish. And as you can see, she means business. We whiffed that attack, unfortunately, but there is something important that's going to happen over here. Arios is going to start doing some moves. So let's go ahead and see what other stuff he's capable of by making Florence a bit of a popular target amongst the enemies. Let's see what this Crocodile is all about. And you can see the #1 assistant fires back with an attack of his own. And he can take some of the hits as well. So you can see that this unit over here is bringing a lot to the table when it comes to the Hydro teams. And I think we've seen enough of this gameplay demonstration for now. So we're just going to go ahead. We're going to exit out now that we've seen what she can do. Now let's see what she does in the dormitory. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are now in the dormitory, and this is what Florence is looking like in her relaxation time. And as you can see over here, she's got quite a bit of an accessory with her. So there's one animation in particular that I wanted to showcase because this one does, well, it does appeal to I can imagine a certain part of something that's calling within you. And I gotta say, the devs have done a fantastic job with the rigging, the animations, whatever they got going on over here. But it's pretty clear to say that there's a lot more that's going to be available when it comes to Florence. You can see she's got the whole medical work going on, doing a little bit of mixing. I think that's meant to help people. I'm not super sure. When she's relaxing, this is what she's looking like over here. She's got a little toy gun. And of course, when idling, enjoying a nice glass, a nice beverage over here. Wonder what that is. And then, well, I guess she's got something a little bit special going on. She's got a little bit of a present for the commander over there. Wonder what that's supposed to do. But that's what her animations are looking like in her base default skin in the dormitory. What if you decide to go ahead and, well, change into one of her outfits? Because this is one of the outfits that is going to be available in the store, Marvelous Yam Pastry, and it's going to have a pretty big discount across the Thriller Wonderland version. So we'll just go ahead, take a look. What kind of pose does what does she look like when she's in her more leisure slumber wear? Okay, I want to make sure that this video stays monetized, so I'll leave that up to you in-game to see the rest of that one. Now, let's talk a little bit more about those skins. Let's talk a little bit more about some of the packages that are going to be in the shop. So, like I just talked about before, Marvelous Yam Pastry is going to be available in the store, but do keep in mind that there are some other skins available with the same exact discount that you're seeing over here. Horizon Cruise is going to be another skin for Tololo that's going to be available across the update. And like I've said before, this is one of those more fan-inspired skins. This is something that the devs actually worked alongside one of the fan art creators for Girls Frontline 2 to actually design this one. So very tasteful, very nice. Huge fan of this one. And also when it comes to this update, there's going to be more than just outfit skins. They're also going to have, ladies and gentlemen, weapon skins as well that are going to be on discount. And the one that's going to be available, this patch on a discount, is going to be Sand Folks Hope. So that's what you got available over here. Looking pretty solid for those that are using some assault rifles and looking for a bit more of that futuristic look. But that's what we're looking like when it comes to the store and all of those new deals that they're going to be having. Now, let's talk a little bit about some of the actual events that are going to be in this update. Some of the big ones, of course, is going to include the entire Thriller Wonderland theme park, which is going to include story, supply challenges, as well as just challenge stages overall. And so, I'm not going to spoil too much when it comes to the story that's going to be in this update. Just keep in mind that you'll be in this amusement park with Florence. So I hope you have a fun time. The other key event that's going to be in this update is, of course, going to be Frontline Survivors. And this is where you're going to have the opportunity to actually go ahead, control from that top-down angle, have a bit of a roguelike experience, and, of course, unlock a great number of rewards in the process. But, like I said before, we just want to make sure that we're not allotting too much time to some of the events that you're all going to be experiencing firsthand in the update. We'll conclude the live demo at this point. So yeah, thanks for tuning in for this live playthrough. As you all saw from that first-hand experience, Girls Frontline 2 Exilium has a lot to offer for players in the Thriller Wonderland patch. Download the game using my sponsored link below, and make sure to also follow GFL2's social media to stay up to date on all of the incredible updates these developers have in store. You won't be disappointed. I'd like to give a special thanks to the GFL2 team for giving me the opportunity to experience all of the incredible features this update has in advance. And one thing I can say is that it's abundantly clear how much work these devs have put into making this game look really, really damn good. As always, if you enjoyed this content, please hit that like and subscribe button. Peace out.